we get leads. It's very important to understand that what the lead is all about. Who are these people who are leads? Generally, and I put it here, real estate lead can be anyone. Leads are not usually pre-qualified, leads are generally just fishing for information, but not ready to do business with you. So it's just someone, they don't know you, you don't know them. Is that correct, guys?
Right.
That's what it is. So we have one, it's very important in the eyes of the law. That's why I started with this, that we really have this differentiation in our minds, who is who. So the next category is prospects, right? So prospects, who are these people? I put here this. They have an interest in working with you. They express direct interest in buying or selling a home. Usually they have done their homework. They have a high level relationship with a real estate agent, and they can buy or sell soon. Is that correct, guys? That's correct, right? Those are prospects. So we really need to understand that. Prospects, all right. And the last category is clients. Clients, right? Who are clients? People who, maybe you can answer this question, who the clients are in the eyes of the law. Who are these people in the eyes of the, I'm sorry?
In contract?
In contract.
No,
okay.
people that have a contract with you, whether it's a listing of private property.
Well, all right,
I don't
so you don't know, okay, that's why we're here, right? So, and the answer is very simple. A client is a person who has an agency relationship with your company, not the contract, but the agency relationship. That's in the eyes of the law, who that person is, all right? And that's what we will be talking more about it, so you will feel very good about it. Now, we have other people who we work with, right? We have agents, other agents, we have third-party providers. All those are good things to have around us because we cannot do without them. But they also, in the eyes of the law, have certain roles. Not they, but us. The lawyers expect us to treat everybody properly. All right, in a certain manner. So let's go to the clients. When we talk about clients, we understand that we have agency relationship with these people, right? We also understand that leads and prospects are a group of people, separate group of people. We do not have agency relationship. That's the key, right? Now, if we do not have agency relationship with those people, who are they? How do we call them? How do we call these people? So the attorney will ask you, how do you call them? And then how you treat them. That's the next question. Anyone? No one? Thank you. Thank you so much. So we have clients.
Good faith.
And all the rest, let's say, all the rest. Who are these prospects, leads? Who are they in the eyes of the law? No?
Business relationship.
Business relationship.
Customer.
Okay, so you got it. So customers, they are called customers. So please make sure that you really understand that you're dealing with customers on one hand and with the clients on the other hand. The clients require to become a client fiduciary duties. The other one requires certain types of duties that we're going to discuss. It's very important, I believe, that we talk right and we speak right, so we don't call our clients customers and we don't call anyone else prospects, leads, clients. Be very careful about that. You understand?
So at what point does our behavior create the fiduciary duty?
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. If I don't answer that, you'll ask me again.
So,
But I
but does that mean you have a signed agency relationship with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and let me explain to you all, see how important this is. It's very important. That's why I started our training with this session, with this type of session, because everything starts with the relationship. We need to know how to handle it. All right, so I do want to talk for a second that we also have relationships with agents, right? Other agents. We also owe them certain type of behavior, conduct that is law, and we'll talk about that. But for a moment, I want to talk to you about your relationship with your broker. which in this case is Miss Margaret, right? So the broker is the person under whose license you operate, is that correct? Yes, and being that person who gives you the ability to operate under her license or any other broker's license, it means she has to do a lot of things for you. And in the eyes of the law, she is responsible for absolutely everything that goes on in the office. Okay, so when you're out there working with the customers, clients, third-party providers, everyone else, you guys are putting either in trouble Miss Margaret, or you are not putting her in trouble. So the reason I'm saying this is very important for you to understand that whatever you say, whatever you do, she is affected first, and you will be, of course, going along with her. So let me give you several examples. I think life examples that will I will try to prove my point. So let's say that you have a listing, and you're the listing agent, and you got a listing under contract. And being under contract, you already got contingencies removed, you got everything what needs to be done is done. All of a sudden, you're getting a phone call from another agent, from another company, who is asking you, well, I just saw your listing on the MLS, it says pending. What's the price for the listing? What's the terms? Tell me the situation, what's going on right now? What your answer will be?
Depends on whether it's dual agency.
Okay, any other ideas? What your answer will be? Everybody needs to participate. That's that's a good exercise for your brain and for me.
Or you try to be helpful but evasive, so you might say.
Let's just stop right there, because very important what you just said. Evasive and just whatever. Okay, let's stop right there. Any other ideas?
Well, my idea is that unless the seller specifically says not to share any information and the buyer specifically writes not to share their information, you have the right to share
Okay,
Actually, we have the responsibility to share it, to get a better offer. It's right in the contract as long as it's not dual agency.
okay, so
Yeah.
we got, see guys, what we have with this situation, we got several ideas. And this is not good. This is not good that everyone thinks differently. And that's why we need to thank Margaret for offering us this training, because this company needs to be one of the best, and it is already, it will be even better. We need to be trained on the same level. And the same level means that we need to know that law says, code of ethics, law, this is law. It says that we must disclose this information if we ask. Okay, so we must disclose this information if we ask. Now, the word evasive, all this are not goods, is not good at all. Either you are truthful or you're not truthful. That's how the law looks at it, right? So now what you have just mentioned about getting the permission from the seller, let me tell you that it goes only with personal information. Seller cannot change the laws, but if seller does not want personal information, that's where we have the form, we have everything that tells us how to handle that situation.
But the buyer can put a confidentiality clause on their offer. So before an offer is accepted, they can put a confidentiality that it only goes to
But this has already had contingencies closed.
that's true, that's true.
So it's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, is that, I mean,
That's what she said.
that is what you said, that contingency.
Everything is gone, they just closing, yeah. So the key here is not where the process of the offer, the escrow process is. The key here is to make sure that you answer the question. That's the key, all right? So personal information, yes, and we will talk about listing agreement, we'll talk about that as well. But for now, for your information, remember you have duties, your conduct has duties for the other agents as well, and this is in code of ethics, you need to answer them.
Okay, so
Cooperation, it's called cooperation.
let me ask a quick question. So 2 weeks till closing, contingencies are removed. Another third agent calls you up and
Mhm.
says, how much is it in contract for? And you're saying we have a requirement to say
Yes.
it's in contract for $1.3 million.
Yes, yes, yes.
Even if then it
It
falls
says that,
out and doesn't ever close,
no, you don't look at that.
you don't look at that.
You
I
don't
was gonna
look at what if, you don't, if,
Okay.
it's just the second fact, what's going on right now.
Okay, question, what if the contingencies have not been removed? It's
Doesn't
no
matter.
different. Yeah.
Doesn't
Okay,
matter.
So that's
You're
irrelevant.
absolutely right.
Irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
Okay.
Yeah, the question is how much is it, how much it was sold for, how much, what's the situation, is it closing, is it, yes, it's on the way to close and it was sold for so much, that's all. Yes,
Even in dual agency.
yes, yes, yes.
Oh.
Really quick, because I have a similar situation that I just went through a few weeks ago, so it's this house that it was up for sale, whatever, and it's a fixer upper. And I called the agent, I was just curious about it, because I have some people that are looking for some fixer uppers. Well, it was in contract, no pending. But it was contingent. And when I called to ask, well, what was it in contract for? He went, he said, well, I can't tell you. I'll just tell you that it's within this range.
Yeah, that's very, very popular in this area where we live to answer this
But-
question.
But
Yeah.
he was supposed
Yes.
to tell me?
Yes, yes, and again, today is not the training on code of ethics, but there is a section in code of ethics that talks about this cooperation with other agents. We must be cooperative, we must be cooperative. Dual agency is a little bit different in terms of pricing, disclosing the pricing, all that between them, buyer and seller, between the clients. We're talking about different situation right now.
Well, that's what she's talking about, so it doesn't matter if you're the selling.
And my
agent
answer
and
was, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
you
And that
still
was my
answer the
answer.
question.
Yes, yes,
So even though it was in contract, he should have told me what it was in contract. for.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and you will hear this all the time, so, yeah, I know you're kind of maybe,
We did that.
based on your agency, you're kind of newer to this, maybe, I don't know. But those people who work in the industry for a long time, they hear it all the time, is that correct, Margaret? All the time. And when I hear that, my answer is you are not familiar with the laws, code of ethic laws, you should. And you should answer me this question. And what I do, I document that. Because you cannot make her do that, but at least you will have a document, email, telling your client that you have done that and you didn't get the answer. So you send a message to her and you send a message to your client, the same message telling, per my conversation with you on such and such date, this was your answer. That's what you need
So
to
if
do.
it's not in contract, it's just the offers are coming in, that's when they can't reveal what the offers are coming in as, correct?
They can, well,
So if I call and say, hey, I also want to put an offer on, what did your offer coming in so far, what's your highest offer coming in on this property?
they can do that as well. They can do that as well. The highest offer is so much, because what they're trying to do to get better off by doing this.
Are they required?
So yes, they are required to answer the question, how much it was sold for example, or any type of cooperation that makes sense for both client and agent. So if tons of offers come in and you ask the other agent, what's the highest offer? Yes, they need to tell you if they have the highest offer, they can tell you and they should tell you, this is the highest offer. Will they do that? Probably not. But you need to make sure that you service your client properly and cover your butt. That's your goal, and cover Margaret's butt, so that you do your job properly. And how do you do that? Whatever you don't get, you document that via email to your client, to that person. That's what happened. All right, one more situation and we will move on. Another situation is very, very common. Your clients are shopping for the home in a new place, new city for them. They just relocated into the new city. And they're asking you about the crime area, right? Is this area safe enough? Is it crime? What's going on with the crime? What would you answer and what would you do, please?
refer them to websites.
To the websites, okay, any other ideas?
Statewide Buyers and Sellers has a great clause to send to them.
Okay, which clause is that?
It gives the list of the website.
Oh, the
On the
website, okay,
statewide buyer and seller.
Okay. okay,
That, you know,
okay, very good.
you know, buyer,
Okay.
buyer investigation.
Very good. So if I will ask you this question, the answer will be, give me the answer. I'm your client, I'm asking you about all these crimes, areas, statistics. What's the answer will be?
There's websites that track those statistics and let me share that with you.
Perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. Do not do it yourself. Do not go out and get information for them and explain to them, or even say, oh, I heard. Don't do that. I heard it's perfect area. I heard there is no crime. Do not do that, please. This is the only right way to handle this, is like you said already, get them links to the websites, and you will be good. You will be good. All right. Another last situation that I have for you is this one. So you're a listing agent again, and your client is asking you if it's okay to remove property from the market because it's not selling, it's been there for a long time. What your answer will be?
After the contract, so,
I'm sorry?
I mean, after the,
Yeah, you are in the contract.
yeah,
The property has not been selling for a long time. What's the answer will be?
The seller has the right, you know,
Seller has the
they
right.
make a request to cancel.
All right, so one of the answers will be, if you want to, you can cancel it. What other things you will say as an agent? But I am your client and I will tell you, you are my agent, I am asking for your advice. That's what I will tell you. So don't tell me, I know I have right, it's my fault, I can do, yeah, home sellers are very smart right now. So what's the right answer will be?
It may affect the market value.
It may affect the market value if you
Does it?
take off the market.
And then to put it back on.
To put it back on. So, guys, the key here in this particular situation, the key here is this is a car legal document that I have. So, a listing agent may be in breach of his fiduciary duty to a seller if the listing agent does not act with honesty and loyalty. As long as the seller, without any improper influence or persuasion by the listing agent, make the decision to withdraw the property from the market, the listing agent most likely fulfilled his fiduciary obligations and has not done anything illegal. So what does this tell you? That if you do not push that person to take off the market and make it more informational, like what may happen later or what kind of market we're in now, without pushing that person take off the market, let's take it, then you will be okay. But if you push that person on any decision, because most of the listing agents are feeling they are empowered in a way, and clients rely on them, on their kind of their directions. So it's quite often that we push as listing agents, especially. I noticed that. So don't do that. Don't do
Give me
it.
an example, I'm a little confused, I would, as a listing agent, I would be very hesitant to push somebody to take it off the market, but I may inform them that a price adjustment would be great, but if that isn't effective,
Yeah.
that the rules are the days on market resets after 30 days, but that's providing them valuable information.
Yes,
What about
exactly.
information on just pros and cons either way?
Yes, exactly, pros and cons, and again, people do ask to take the property off the market. They want they want us to take the property of the market quite often. So the question is here, how to handle that. The best way to do it is, everything you said is correct, Dorothy. I agree with you 100%. Number one, you are telling them that it's their home, it's their decision. That's number one. And number two, you give them information, pros and cons. And that's what you will do, and then you will be okay. And it goes with everything, everything. Do not push anyone into anything. Show them, and later we will work on forms, and you will see card forms where you will be referencing. That's how you push trouble from you to them. So read this, read that, and make a decision.
But something extremely important is during the process of having the listing, you should be regularly watching the market to see what the competition sells, if it sells or doesn't sell, and what the price was. So you should constantly be checking on.
Yeah, and it's
you
in
know,
my list.
And
Yeah.
so therefore, and reevaluating their list price, what
Yes.
the competition
Yes.
sells, if they're all
Yes.
taking a long time to sell,
Yes,
then there's something else going on, right?
right.
So, it should never come to that point 3 months later or something, and they wanna take it off, you should have been tracking it all along.
Yeah, that's true. So a lot of due diligence has to be done, and like I said, we will be talking about my list that I created for this company to improve your safety, so to say. And we will be talking about this during the listing agreement training. But last thing I wanted to tell you, there is a card form. It's called statute of limitations, deadline time to sue. It's very interesting article they have, statutes of limitation, deadline to time to sue. So basically, they're explaining here the reasons we may be sued and how long after discovery. From the point of discovery, how many years we can be still sued.
Yeah.
From 1 to 7 years, depending on violation. From 1 year to 7 years, depending on violation. So it can come later, and they still will have this legal power to sue. That's why what I'm trying to do my step here, since I came to this company, my every step is to prevent trouble versus react to it. That's what I'm trying to do here. So because guys, they can find you, they can, no matter where you are, they may find you. So I thought it might be very interesting for you.
And what about the opposite? And I actually had this happen, where the seller wanted to take the house off the market very shortly after I listed. And so I withdrew it. I withdrew it from the market because they said they changed their mind, they didn't want to sell. 2 weeks later, they came back and they said, why is it still on the MLS as withdrawn? And we said we didn't want to sell it. I said, well, then we just withdraw it through the rest of the contract. And they said, no, we want it completely off.
So what is your question?
I did give them the cancellation. And they sold it directly to somebody who went to the open house that they met at the open house. At the end of the driveway, they didn't leave the open house, they met them, they sold it themselves, cut me out completely. I didn't pursue them, but then he even went to the photographer and asked to buy the photographs that I had paid for and everything, I mean, it was pretty slimy. But what's the statute of limitations on me going back to them?
No, but
I'm just questioning, I mean, it did happen and it was.
you handle it very easily there. I wouldn't do that this way. I would not do this way. First of all, you needed to consult with Margaret. I don't know if you did.
It wasn't, Margaret wasn't my broker at the time, my broker at the time told me what we were doing and understood that we were making it so that we couldn't go
Okay.
back after them, and I didn't believe they were gonna do what they did.
All right.
I thought they were
So,
more ethical than that, but I was wrong.
So the thing of the matter is, very briefly, because this is not the topic right now, but the thing of the matter is that yes, you can go and sue them, but you can't really because it's your broker. Like I said,
Right.
they don't go, most brokers will not go for it. If you work for me, I will not go for it. But you could have handled it differently. So when we talk about real estate listing agreement, we will talk more about it, and I'll tell you what I would do. All right, but for now, let's move on. So the next thing, so we covered the types of people we work with, right? Who do we work with, guys? Tell me very quickly.
Clients and customers.
Clients and customers. Excellent, excellent. I'm so happy.